I wanted to touch on the difference between capacity and capability with regards to healing. So I talk all the time about how healing is a promise. It's an unconditional promise. If you're alive, you're healing, and there are no exceptions. But what a lot of people get hung up on is that they typically judge their capacity to heal against others when you're just promised capability. So the capability is the promise. The capacity is what you have invested in or what you have invested against. And so that's going to be the difference between investing into urgency or investing into your resiliency. So just like a severe urgent situation like a heart attack, a stroke, all of those different type of presentations, those haven't been invested into by you, by how you've lived, all the physical identifiable inputs, as well as some of the things that are less easy to see through relationships, emotions, mindset, habits, different things like that, different psychological patterns. So the same thing is true with your resiliencies. That is something you've invested into. So when people want to talk about prevention, even though I hate that word and that concept, and we can go into that at a later date, that is something you've invested into. It's not something that you take in a moment. It's not something that you purchase. It's something that you have lived and invested into. So it's basically your bank account. So either your urgency or your resiliency is what is sitting in different bank accounts, and how you have invested into that is exactly what we're talking about here with capacity. So your capacity is built by you. It's invested in by you, how you live moment to moment, day to day. And that investment gets to be taken into consideration by your physiology in the moments it's being asked of. So in the moments it needs to heal something, whether it be a cut, a tattoo, a meal that you didn't digest well, or something more severe like a true accident, a car crash, all of those different things. So what you've invested into your capacity and that level of capability get to dance together. So just because you have the capability that everyone else has doesn't mean you've done what's required to invest into your max capacity. And so that's where you get to follow the rules. That's where you get to, invest through different levels of inputs, through nutrition, through digestion, through light, through sleep, through all of those different things that we talk about, and that you're very aware of. That's where you're investing into capacity. So your capability is a promise, just like healing is a promise. So humans are capable of doing amazing things. So what you are experiencing in your day-to-day is your capacity, and that's something that is very much in your control, very much in your hands with regards to how you're investing your life, your moment, your thoughts, your relationships, your belief, and then everything else that you can control on the level of food, light, sleep, all of those different things. So capacity versus capability is very important for you to understand, especially if you're somebody who looks at somebody else and judges your body because you can't eat like they eat. You can't go and do that thing that they were able to do without any physical manifestations or repercussions. And so what you're gauging and what you're comparing is capacity, and that's absolutely cruel and completely the wrong way to even look at it. You can't even compare. The inputs are different, the lives are different, the human is different, the experiences are different. Everything about two people is different. So you cannot compare your capacity because you know that everyone has the same capability. So be kinder to yourself. And then if you don't like the max capacity that you're functioning at and you want it to match more of your capability, you have that unlimited mind, then you have to put in the investment through actual, tangible, living, breathing, relating, thinking, emoting type inputs into your physiology to have the outcome that you desire. So there's an effect to every cause, and you get to be in control of that. So that's where you're investing into that capacity, and you're not, being somebody who never went in the gym ever and tries to bench press 300 pounds. And just because somebody else did it, you think you got the short end of the stick, or that your body's not as capable as them. No, you're capable, but you have to go put in the work that builds the bank account that is your capacity. And then you're investing into your resiliency, that prevention, if you will, even though, again, that's the wrong way to think about it. Different conversation for a different time. But instead of investing into the urgency and investing in lack in a physiological, biochemical presentation, you're investing in your adaptability, your max capacity, your resiliency. And so that's what we're talking about here. So there's all of these different layers when you're talking about healing. So you are promised healing, but you are also promised the outcome of how you live your life. That's why your life is your medicine, every piece of it. The stuff you think is medicine, and even the stuff that you're not even thinking about. It all medicates you, and you have to take all of it into consideration when you're dealing with the human being. So think about this. Don't judge your capacity against somebody else's capacity. You can't. It's impossible. Two totally different lives. Capability, we're all given the same capability. It's a promise. It's fantastic, and we're physical embodiments and different dances of the same stuff. But how you get to live in your capacity is based off of how you've invested into it every moment up until you want to cash in. So think about it, kind of let it spin in your mind a little bit, and be kinder to yourself. You can't judge yourself against anybody because it's not even remotely the same.